So how do you actually teach yourself dropshipping if you have no one out there who you can actually learn from, no one out there who actually ask questions, like you don't have a mentor yourself or you don't know who to ask, just like in general questions about dropshipping or how to do specific things. Um, I'm gonna basically tell you guys how I would go about doing this. Like if I started again, and being from a spot where I kind of know and understand, what information out there is kind of real now, and that it's I think out there I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there with say a lot of people saying how dropshipping is actually dead and you shouldn't do dropshipping, you should do something else. Um, And yeah, like I think, in my honest opinion, most people out there who are saying dropshipping is dead, it's to me that it's like most likely it's because they're trying to sell a course or something different, to basically get your attention because most people out there know what dropshipping actually is. So then it's easier to say dropshipping is dead because most people will kind of, when you say dropshipping, people know what that means. So then it's kind of easier for them to kind of sell something else because you already have a little bit of an understanding of what dropshipping actually is. So then if they give you, something else that they think is better to do, it's like kind of easier for them to sell. Um, but yeah, in my opinion, like dropshipping definitely isn't dead. I've been doing it for like over a year now, and like I haven't made like any high six figures yet, but one day I know I will. It's just a matter of when, and not if. Um, but it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of effort into it. Um, but yeah, how I would actually go about learning dropshipping if I was starting from the very beginning, in my honest opinion, I reckon going on like there's a lot of YouTube like free courses out there. Like I think Ecom King, I think he has a really good like a really long like 7 8 hour dropshipping course. And in my opinion, you can honestly just watch that and do everything that he says. Right, like watching those really long full course videos that are probably 8 to 12 hours long or even longer. Those course videos are really really good, and I think it's if you actually follow everything they talk about in the course, I'm pretty sure it's no different to like you buying an actual course yourself and going through that process. It's literally the same thing. What you can get that out there for free, will be kind of the same to how you would be able to get stuff when you buy a course. Um, but for me, when I first started, I bought a course, a really cheap one, like $50 a month, but it definitely like kind of motivated me a little bit more to like want to learn because I paid for it. And so that's when I kind of understood that, you won't really do something unless if like, you kind of paid for something. And the more expensive you pay for something, the more likely you'll actually put a little bit more effort into it than if you got it for free. Like if you get something for free, it's likely because you didn't put that money in, and because money is hard to get for you, it's like you won't really, if you don't pay for it, you won't really want to do it. But then if you paid for it, you'll be like, oh, I don't want to waste my money, and so maybe I'll try and learn a bit of it. And that was basically me. Like I was in that position, paid for a little course and got pretty into it, and then when I made my first sale, that was when I took it more seriously. And yeah, like I think after then, and then maybe around 6 to 8 months later, after I like bought my first dropshipping course, I joined the mentorship, and now I have my mentors where I'm actually able to get that one-on-one kind of learning, and I'm able to ask questions about a lot of things that I'm just like wondering about, or things I want to know. And because they've already gone through everything, the entire process of dropshipping, they've basically ran through all the issues that you could possibly run into. So they have like basically all the solutions to everything. Whereas if you're doing it on your own and there's no one out there to help you, you have to like figure out a lot of problems by yourself, and it's really really hard. Like sometimes like you might have like an algorithm issue or you're shadow banned, and maybe for the longest time you didn't know like that could happen. Like say you didn't know getting shadow banned was a thing, right? Like that can happen. So it's like yeah, like when you eventually you as you get the ball rolling and you're kind of like learning a bit more and you want to take it a bit more seriously and you think that dropshipping is kind of you can do it, that's when I think I would invest into a mentorship, and I would invest into one like ASAP, like as soon as you can, because the longer you wait, it's kind of like the more you're wasting your time, and the earlier you do it, it's just like a bit of a fast track, like joining a mentorship and doing it on your own. The only difference is that in a mentorship, you're basically fast tracking your journey, right? Instead of trying to figure out problems on your own and trying to find out what's the best solution, you've got people out there who've already gone through it, know the solution, so that when you have a question about something, they can just tell you like that this is what's wrong. And so for me, that was the biggest game changer, which I never kind of realized when I was in the beginning, right? Like my mentors will point out saying like, oh, you need to constantly test different hooks and different style videos, especially when you're testing products. Especially when you've just gotten a product, you need basically every single video needs to be different. You can't have the same video every single video. And that was, I feel like it's something obvious, right? But then as a beginner, it's like, it doesn't really hit you, right? When you're doing it, you just don't think about that. But then it's like an obvious thing. But then, having someone to actually tell you, it kind of changes everything. And for me, that was, when I started to learn a lot more, and I kind of realized that it takes a lot more than like what I was doing before in the beginning stages for myself. Like I definitely work like 100 times more efficient and more. I put more hours into what I did before I joined a mentorship and I had the mentors. Um, but yeah, like that would be exactly how it would go. And honestly, if you already think that you want to do dropshipping and that's something you actually like to do, I would say just like straight off the bat, just join a mentorship, right? Like I think there is like doing it on your own. It's to me honestly, I think it's just a waste of time. But you should invest into a mentorship because you actually will be able to learn so much more and so much quicker, and you're kind of speeding up, what you're initially doing. So yeah, like that's how I would do it if I was trying to do dropshipping in the beginning. Like 100%, I would look into finding what mentors for me and what kind of people I want to be surrounded by, and I'd start off there. Um, but then sometimes I know like mentorships are very expensive, and so like my mentorship is super expensive, at least for me. Um, but it's worth every dollar, worth every penny. So yeah, it's the only thing I think in business that you should be investing into is finding mentors and people that can teach you what you want to learn. And I think, even like outside of job shipping, if I like stopped doing it one day and I wanted to do something else, I think the first thing I would look into is actually getting a mentor. Instead of buying like a course or like trying to do it on my own. Um, yeah, I don't know. Mentorship is just, I think, the way. And you gotta understand that you're trying to do it quick as well, right? Like job shipping, you're not trying to take your time and take like 10 years to make like a few $1,000s. Like you want to do it now, and the best way to do that is to join a mentorship. But yeah, that's how I would do it. Obviously, I don't have a mentorship myself because I'm still learning. But I'm hoping one day I could do like a little mentorship when I get a bit more experience and learn more things. Obviously, that's for the future. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Um, but yeah, if I was to start dropshipping again, I think the biggest thing I'd look into is joining a mentorship. For you guys, if you guys are wondering who my mentor is Michael Bernstein. And I'm sure like some of you may know who that is if you're into the organic dropshipping space. He is on YouTube. Check out his videos. If you really want to learn like good stuff and real stuff about dropshipping, I 100% think you should check out Michael Bernstein's videos. He does have a lot of, kind of tutorials and stuff like that, kind of teaching you how to dropship, and he kind of talks about a lot of also a lot of issues that dropshippers will go through. So I think he's, even the YouTube videos that he has out there, they're very valuable, and I can say that they're all 100% true in everything he says. And so if you don't want to join a mentorship just yet, and you just want to buy a random course, go buy a random course and learn a bit about it. And then, or if you just want free content, watch Ecom King's videos and watch Michael Bernstein's videos. They'll all help you out a lot. But yeah, the biggest thing is honestly pick one and then stick with it, right? Pick a strategy and stick with it. That's like one of the biggest things. For me, when I was in the beginning, I would switch strategies. So if I first started in Facebook ads, and then maybe like 2 weeks later, I'm like, Facebook ads not working. I'll try something else. I did like TikTok ads. And then, a bit of time later, TikTok ads not working. I'll go back to Facebook ads. Like all these things, it's just, obviously it's not working. You're just learning, you're just starting your journey. And obviously you won't know enough to make it, work like that. So it's like, just stop changing from thing to thing and just stick to one, and understand that you need to learn that strategy properly, become an expert at it, and then you can tell yourself, it's not working, I should try something else. But if you haven't actually given it a go and you haven't actually learned anything in it, then you can't really say and write it off saying like, I can't do it, or I can't, this strategy isn't working, I need to do something else. It's important that you stay consistent and you stick with it. You stick to the one thing, become a pro at it, an expert in it, and yeah, there's just no way you'll lose, right? So that's all for this video. I'm just gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you learned something. Maybe this video helps you kind of want to start dropshipping. Maybe it makes it a little easier for you to just trust the videos out there on YouTube and the long courses out there. Like most of the time, they're pretty true. If someone uploads something for 12 hours straight, I'm sure they know what they're saying. They can't just make stuff up, So yeah, find someone you trust, watch their videos, and follow everything that they say, and just stick with it. Stay consistent with it, and yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there eventually. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.